Mother Nature has decided to show up here, and rain is sure to have...
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to rain-soaked Miami, Florida. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Miami Dolphins. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by their fourth-year quarterback out of Oklahoma. It's Landry Jones.
Landry Jones was well-schooled in throwing the football while he was at the University of Oklahoma and had to make a couple of starts in relief of an injured Ben Roethlisberger in 2015.
Now a carry for the veteran. This is D'Angelo Williams. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Coates has it complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I would not want to be an offensive lineman in today's NFL, especially not a center or a guard, if you got to deal with these massive defensive tackles who could not just beat you with strength, but they can beat you with quickness and guile as well. They can get upfield and make plays. And a lot of times what they're taught, just go ahead and tackle everyone that comes in your area and keep the one with the ball.
This is caught by Antonio Brown. 15 yards through the air and a first down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
On your screen now, here are the offensive starters. At wideout, Antonio Brown is certainly someone that the defense always has to account for.
Without a doubt, a true #1 receiver. It doesn't matter to him how defenses want to cover him. He sees it as a challenge and knows how to defeat them.
Now Jones. Out left side here to Bryant. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. And it'll give him a fresh set of downs.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. They go back to the ground with Williams. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
When I see Cameron Wake make plays like that, I can't help but shake my head sometimes. He had to go to Canada first before he came back to the NFL, or he's now an All-Pro.
Yeah, undrafted out of Penn State, but look at him now.
Just think about all the pass-rushing moves he has, his ability to play against the run. Remember, he was a combo outside linebacker, defensive end. Now he's just simply one of the best in the NFL.
Throwing Jones. And Incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it. An in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
And Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So it's our visitors who make the first dent in the scoreboard as they get 3 here on the initial drive of the ball game.
Yeah, it's hard to say who actually won that opening drive. On the one hand, anytime you can come in as a road team and get an early lead, you're going to be thrilled. But at the same time, to have the ball as deep in enemy territory as they did and come away with only 3, that's got to be a little bit of a disappointment.
So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. They're led out by a guy who's been a backup much of his career out of Oregon State. It's Matt Moore.
Matt Moore began as a backup in the NFL, but his first season in Miami, he did start 12 games, so he understands how it's done and what needs to happen on the field. A guy that you love as a career backup, but he can start if necessary.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Ryan Shazier coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Well, still in search of the first down after that last completion.
Here we go now.
Now Moore. And he's got him. It's the tight end Cameron. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. So Ajayi picking up some yardage, and last year only 187 yards as a rookie.
Well, Lamar Miller's gone to Houston. That opens up more possibilities for him. I think we'll see the full range of his game, running and catching this season.
And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Back now with Charles Davis. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. And they've got it here with a first down.
All right, here we go. Blue landing. Blue landing.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They'll try to run with Ajayi. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Defense likely bringing pressure here. 3rd and goal from the 2. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
Partner, it's decision time now. I know it's still just the second quarter, but you have an opportunity to either kick the field goal or go for it and try and score a big-time touchdown. This is why the head coaches get paid the big bucks.
And the 13-year man puts it through, and the Dolphins are going to tie the score at 3. So it's an old-school extra point, but certainly a disappointment that they couldn't get 6.
Yeah, when you see 19-yard field goal in the box score, you kind of shake your head. But their head coach decided 3 was enough.
This will be fielded at the 8. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field.
This is caught inside the 15. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 53 yards. They practiced this all week. Pretty clear it paid off there. Threw it downfield, made it look relatively easy.
And it always comes a little bit easier when you've practiced it and tuned things up and you're confident in what you're doing now. They felt very, very good about their plan, and we saw the execution because the confidence of the players was there.
They go play action here on first down. This is intercepted. Picked by the rookie Xavier Howard. And a big turnover there as his... Guys will get the football back. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there.
Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And the defensive penetration there blew that play up and got him 2 points.
How about how they got off at the snap of the football, got upfield into the backfield, and created the big play? That's the key to everything.
Now Brown. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better. And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
On 2nd down, Williams. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. So they run it on 2nd down. Now let's see what 3rd down brings here for the offense. Halfback sent in motion. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down.
On 3rd and 1, it seems natural to just turn and hand it to the biggest guy you have in the backfield. But usually, he's not the primary runner. So for the defense, they're often keying on the running back because he's the guy who gets the ball more often, and the fullback is the blocker. When he ends up carrying the football, that's a heck of a...
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. And some room to work. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Those free safeties, they get to sit back there if they've got good pass rushers like this team does. Read like a book. He read it like a book and took it in for 6.
And if they use their eyes well and their anticipation skills, they can make big plays, just as what we saw. A free safety's dream. Follow the football, go to it, and take it the other way.
Billy Cundiff now to kick the extra point. And the lead is up to 5. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. This one taken just inside the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following the pick 6, and they decent field position and throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Green, the tight end, in motion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Man, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Sammy Coates, the intended target there. And that brings up 4th down.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow, out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Larry Ridley will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. They run again with Ajayi. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside, not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the first. That one goes for 38 yards. And it's 1st down, Miami.
The well-executed slant routes are based on timing, and that one was hit just right. Ball out of the quarterback's hands quickly, right to the receiver. He catches it on the run, and you saw the end result. Big-time run after catch. They love those rack yards.
Moore now. He's got time. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. Back to throw again. They set up the screen to Ajayi. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And Cundiff able to knock it through. And that'll push the lead up to 8. So 2 first-half field goals now for a guy who, and you hate to give him the tag a journeyman, but it's fair to say, Charles, he's been around in his career. Yeah, it's more have-leg will travel for him. He is a guy that's bounced around a bit, but he can still stroke him when called upon, just as he did right there. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll throw now on the final play. Finding time. He's going to rifle one deep left. This is caught at the 20. So the 2 teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami with the Dolphins on top. And apparently that's all, Larry. So much for the halftime report. We'll see you in the postgame. We're ready to get to the 3rd quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Kenny Stills. And it's 3rd down. So the offense dealing with a 3rd and 6. Now more. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. Jordan Cameron is tight end, the intended receiver. And 4th down coming up. Here's Matt Darr now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He gets it away, and I think they'll smartly play keep away here from Brown. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. Let's put our attention here now on the Dolphins defense. And tough starting field position here. They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going, Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 14 there, and it'll give the Steelers a first down.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Brandon, as long as we've been covering this league, every time we see a receiver that does not have a big-time game, you know that's a long week for everyone around them. And, boy, it's paid off for him this week. He is prepared, locked in, and demanding the football and getting it.
He told you that pregame that he was ready. I wasn't there. I was standing alongside talking to his teammate, but he said he was ready. It's shown.
Yeah, my favorite part is he was telling me he was ready while he kept pacing in front of me. I mean, he's like a thoroughbred just out of the gates. And what he's done this week is found the ball early, meaning just get it to me and let me make plays, and that's exactly what he's done.
Second down, 9 yards to go.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's got time in the pocket. The 20. Out left side here to Bryant. It's a gain of 24 that time. And that'll be good for a Pittsburgh first. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well. Showed it right there. Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down. Defense call staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down. You're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. Again, it's Williams. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. They lost 4 there, and it's third down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on third. On play action, they'll throw. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
A decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they do inch a bit closer.
Yeah, still lots of time to go in this one. Take the points, move on, and let your defense try to get the ball back.
Here's Jarvis Landry now on the return. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. After watching that play and result, I go back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator, Brandon, before the game and said, how are you going to move the ball running it against the #1 defense? He gave us no indication, didn't tip his hand at all, so we have to see how this unfolds as this game moves along.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. James Harrison, the veteran, in on the stop. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football. It's also Dolphin lead to begin quarter number 4. And this offensive unit, they have to face a 3rd down and 12 now. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Surveying the field. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Javon Hargrave, the big rookie from South Carolina State, in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. With it is Brown. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. Here's the Dolphins defense as they head out to set up shop. And last time out, they gave up the chip shot field goal, but obviously could have been worse than that. I think they felt pretty good about only giving up 3.
No doubt about it. Anytime an offense gets into the red zone, the thinking naturally for the defense is, okay, 3 points. We're going to give up 3 here, but let's make it no more than that. They met their goal.
On the other side, though, the offense, they weren't very happy.
No, because there's an opportunity. Once you get to the red zone, you're not thinking about kicking a field goal. You're thinking about how do you get into the end zone, and when you don't, you walk off the field feeling a little bit of failure on that drive.
Yeah, who will have the better feeling at the end of this drive?
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I thought guys that were over 30 weren't supposed to run the football this well in the National Football League. How about that veteran leadership? A big-time run combined with some nice blocking by his offensive line, showing that the ins and outs of being a veteran still has his place in this league. His odometer is not totally turned over yet.
So this is the 2nd consecutive week as you look at the numbers that he just doesn't seem to have the same pop as we normally see him with.
Is there an injury we don't know about?
That's what I'm wondering.
Because that's a legitimate question right now. We're used to speed, power, all coming together. And what I've always loved about him is his vision. You know, last week he didn't have that as well. Always thought he was picking the wrong hole to try and run through. And his blockers, they seem to be getting him to the right place, but he picked the wrong spot. We're seeing some of that again this week. Can they snap it together? Can they get back in sync? Because normally we see them go together very, very well.
I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And Green with a catch left side. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
They were stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. Throwing, Jones. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
Now Jones. And oh, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
An extra DB defensively here. Big stop needed on 3rd and goal.
He may be a blitzer.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Martavis Bryant, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
And touchdown and congratulations and zero relaxation ahead of them, right? Way too much time on the clock for them to start celebrating.
Yeah, part 1 is done, but now on the sideline, you already see them scrambling down there. They're getting those defensive guys ready.
Yes, you have to get those guys ready, and you also have to talk to your special.
And look at this. They get the turnover. There he goes, right side. A great read, and it's picked off. The 40. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line.
I know there's some time on the clock, but I still think you kick the extra point there and don't go for 2 and go for the win in that spot.
Yeah, time or no time. Take the 1 and even the score.
And then that way, no matter what, at least you know what you're dealing with now. It's a whole different strategy. You got to decide whether you're going to onside kick or just try and play defense and get the ball back.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
So many components go into a well-executed screen pass. You've got to sell, sell, sell. Offensive line's got to sell like they've missed blocks, and then they move out, and they're out in front of the running back. He's got to sell that he's trying to block, and then he slips out into the route. The quarterback has to sell that maybe he's trying to throw it downfield. Instead, he slips it off to the running back, and when you get one set perfectly, you have to catch the ball, and that didn't happen on that play.
Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw. On the left side, this is Stills. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. .46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. This is brought in at the 21. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here. 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They're up by 1. They have the football. The key here, just don't do anything silly, right, Charles?
That's exactly right. You know, all the admonitions as they ran out there. Take care of the ball. Secure everything. Be tight in everything that you do. No let up.
Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. Over the middle here to Brown. Now the Dolphins are going to take another timeout here. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run down some clock with Williams. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. The linebacker, Nisi, brings him down. They run it again with Williams. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
You have to give big-time credit to the cornerback on that play. Most of them like to just sit back and say, I'm playing pass. But he diagnosed that play so fast and got into the backfield for a loss of yardage. That's a monster play by a corner.
So now at 3rd and 12 with an extra defender here in the secondary, a nickel look. In motion left comes Bryant. On 3rd down, here's Williams. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Deep drop. He's going to look deep down the field. And this one incomplete. Well, apparently taking a knee is not in vogue. They're not able to add another touchdown on. And now the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Pittsburgh, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll return home next week to take on the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Buffalo Bills. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation